Senior Vice President of Knowledge and Innovation, and I lead up the development of our intellectual property.
Okay, and we talked a little bit yesterday. You started in ethnography.
I did, yes.
And can you speak a little bit to the role that ethnography plays in consumer studies right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think ethnographic research has been pretty integrated into consumer packaged goods qualitative research. I think some people are making better use of it than others, to be honest with you. That kind of in-depth research is really great when you're a company that's going into new categories that you literally have zero understanding of. You don't even know the nuts and bolts of how the consumer thinks about consumption. I think it helps to have people spend hours in people's houses, follow them around. But if you're a chocolate and we pay them a lot of money.
Yeah,
because they require it.
Yeah. I mean, ethnography and journalism are close in terms of observational ties.
Yeah.
But you actually can pay them during an ethnography?
Yes, that's how we get 3 hours of somebody's time. Okay. Believe it or not, it's expensive, and that's why we advise clients to use it when it's most appropriate. If you're just trying to do a focus group, do a focus group.
Okay, that's good advice for the entrepreneurs out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think basic marketing questions like, does my trademark have immediate disgust, when I say it? Are there red flags, right? That can be done very quickly.
And cheaply.
Honestly, it could be probably done online. You don't need an anthropologist to collect that information.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about the kinds of information you've been collecting lately, because I know that there's been sort of a shift at the Hartman Group to try and look a little bit at entrepreneurial brands.
That's correct. So we've been doing market research in natural organics since the early 90s. Before there was a market to sell it to, really.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're West Coast firm, so.
Yeah, I mean, so we built up an enormous knowledge base about trends, and we've been on the leading edge of where progressive consumers are going in the space in dozens and dozens of categories. I think about 7 years ago, we decided to really beef up our consulting practice, which we dabbled in. And a lot of that is working with innovation teams, some M&A teams as well, helping people make sense of trends in a structured way so that they can place innovation bets or acquisition bets that are more grounded in emerging trends, but also emerging benefits in marketing spaces that are underdeveloped. So.
Now, give me a sense of sort of some of these trends that you're currently chasing down. What are some of the top ones?
Well, it is BevNet live, so I will focus on beverages.
Please do.
It's a big. The grocery store is big, but I think beverages are interesting because. Well, I'll get to your question first, and then I'll explain what I was going to get. I think some of the biggest trends that our analysts are seeing are in the cocktail mixer space, and I think we stumbled on a brand Fever Tree as it was entering the U.S. a few years ago, and it occurred to us that not only is that particular category of seltzer water been asleep for half a century, but there's something much more phenomenal going on at the bar scene, and we obviously see it in Seattle early, and it's all starting to swirl together in terms of people making home cocktails, and this is honestly about moms. I mean, you would think it's about trendy hipsters who are going out 7 nights a week.
College students.
Yeah, they're the ones who are adopting first, but the volume is tired moms who used to be hipsters who want a really interesting drink at home because they have money.
And they're tired of drinking straight from the bottle.
Yeah, well, when you start to get in your 40s, that gets a little embarrassing. So even when you're alone. So I think there's Owl's Brew is one we're watching, which is just phenomenal piece of innovation. And the brilliant thing about these two women is that they are their own ad agency and they are their own influencers. I mean, they must have VCs lining up around the block.
They actually just took in a round
there you
actually
go.
from ZX Ventures,
you guys,
which is Anheuser-Busch. They're running a Radler program as well.
Yeah.
But we heard yesterday actually from Bill Weiland talking about expanding that home mixer space.
Yep.
Pushing for between 4 and 11 feet in some shelf sets.
Why not?
And I think it's interesting that you mentioned seltzers as sort of the genesis point of that, because at the same time you're seeing these sort of high-end home mixers, you're also seeing a lot of just straight-up seltzer and alcohol combos, both pre-canned and also as a mixer.
Yeah, I just think that the creative potential in the house of something like Owl's Brew is fascinating.
Yeah.
And just mixers itself, it just it's a platform.
Yeah.
Right. But the other trends that we're looking at are much more nuanced digestive beverages. There's a bunch of stuff that's growing fast. Aloe, old brand, is actually taking off now in conventional sales data.
ALO?
Yeah.
We've heard very interesting things about that brand.
It's been reconfigured.
And what are the things that you're finding in your consumer research that's pointing to why Aloe's taking off?
Well, I think here's the thing. I think there's a lot more. We have an aging population in the United States. I think there's a lot more people who are getting diagnosed with digestive challenges. Mm-hmm. I will say that euphemistically. I mean, they actually are 5 or 6 specific chronic illnesses that people are getting more and more diagnoses around. But the primary care physician has not a lot to offer still. I mean, drugs are coming online for things like IBS, but this has been a space we've been tracking for 15 years. Digestion is absolutely perfect for beverages because the pharmacological industry doesn't have a lot to offer. Mm-hmm. You got to try something.
Yep, and so we're seeing a rise in kombucha and other probiotic drinks.
But I think I think the appetite for something a little more on the medicinal side is starting to grow.
Sure.
And I think then the question becomes, how do you format it? And I actually love what Cherubundi is doing, I believe, in their shots, the cherry shots. Are they doing it?
I don't think they're
not doing shots.
I mean, they have a very strong. There's Cherish.
Juicera is the one I was thinking about. Real tiny little company. We just found him.
No, Juicera or Juicero?
Juicera. Yeah.
Ah, yes.
There we go.
Serra.
I'm not referencing the other. Yeah, we don't want to go there.
No.
So. Really tiny company, but they've got these cool little shots. We've been talking with clients about shots for a long time, as if you're going to offer a really potent medicalized benefit, don't sell it in a 12-ounce drink, because the consumer culturally doesn't get it. It feels dangerous, unconscious.
We used to see these sleep-inducing drinks coming in a 16-ounce can, which is...
Well, I thought those were the craft cocktails.
Only if you're a housewife.
Yes, exactly. Melatonin infused, yes.
So one of the things that you were talking about, I guess our time is up. James, it's been great having you here between the hedges.
All right.
In the live stream lounge.